Hello, and welcome to Peeves and Cues. I am your humble host, don't say anything, Connor, Mr. Red, and with me I have... our clever girl.
Gee, thanks for that introduction that I almost had to do myself.
The Quaff Man.
Why am I here?
And our one-time guest.
Hi.
He will not be around soon.
He's finally caught it.
So this is our show, Peeves and Cues, a show where we ask each other questions and talk about what's annoying us each and every week. How are you guys doing? How's it going?
Good. You got a haircut?
I did. Looking fly as hell, actually.
Looking fuzzy as hell.
I'm not super into it yet.
really fuzzy.
It's pretty short right now. I'm waiting for it to grow out a little bit more. So
yeah. Yep, they completely butchered your haircut. Like, it doesn't look bad, but from what you asked them to give you to what you got, complete butcher job.
I said I want to have like the sides shortish and then it to be a little bit longer on top, but then in the front pretty long so that I can do a faux hawk, because that's what my avatar online, you can see it probably now somewhere online, is, and that's just what my natural look is, I think. But she said, yeah, she was on board with it. She was super into it, but then she just shaved it off, and it was like, okay, well, I mean, I can't get it back now. I'll just have to wait. So that's where we are with that.
Yeah.
Anyone else get haircuts recently? It doesn't look like it. No.
No. This morning, Mr. Red and I went and seen Home Alone in theaters.
Yeah.
At 9:30 in the morning.
That's fun.
For free, though.
Why don't movie theaters serve a coffee?
Seriously. Why? Can you answer that for me, Connor?
Yeah, the one person who worked at a movie theater.
Which one did you go to?
We went
Trillium.
to Trillium. But, like, none of them serve coffee.
Bertrand does.
But, like, what kind of coffee?
From the pot.
From the pot coffee. I want a coffee bar at the movie theater instead of a regular bar.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So, that was our morning. It was pretty fun. That's a good movie. It's a slow burn, I've noticed.
It is definitely, really slow.
It's like a lot of character development, and then just like half an hour of just nonstop laughs.
I still hold the theory that character's objective through the whole movie is to have a goddamn cheese pizza.
Yeah.
Well, he gets one in the middle.
But we never see him eat it. And we never see him eat that macaroni and cheese. He goes to sit down right at 9 o'clock. He's like, God damn it.
That was a huge plot hole for me during that film, because he sits down, he overhears the robbers say, 9 o'clock we come back so that we'll hit this house. And he hears them and he's like, okay, I need to prepare. So he sets up all these traps. You've seen the movie, you know how that goes. He puts all these like micro machines out and ornaments and everything. And then he decides it's 9:55. 8:55. I'm gonna make this macaroni and cheese dinner for myself. Lay it out, and he like prays to God to like bless this meal. And then the alarm goes off, and he's like, and then he just leaves it there. He doesn't take a single bite. It gets cold. Well, the robbers are in the house, right?
Yeah, you never see it in any of the.
You never see it
in any of the scenes.
This bothers me way more than I think it should.
Watching this, I just can't believe how much of a... Well, I can believe how much of a weirdo that Macaulay Culkin turned out to be.
Yeah.
But, like, to watch this movie, and then I'm like, oh, those actors had no idea. Yeah. They had no idea what they were getting themselves into.
Macaulay Culkin looks like what every child actor feels like.
Yes, completely.
See? This is why I wanted it. Never mind.
Well,
Yeah, well, so that was a movie that we saw. I like it. John Williams did the music. John Williams is the man. See a previous episode that we talked about that song.
From Macaulay Culkin. From Home Alone? I don't think so.
What?
I know. Never mind. Just kill it.
Okay. Yeah. So that was Home Alone. How much time did we get out of that? We have to kill an hour.
So it also was like, what, the week of finals for you guys?
Next week.
Shit.
This next coming week or the next week for you guys? So that's all. Yeah, that's all of you.
This week, it's Sunday, so...
This week.
This
Oh,
week,
okay.
yeah.
So this week, yeah. Finals week. For me, too. That's weird. That never happens.
Who's stressed?
No, I'm an actor. I don't have real finals.
That is not true. That is absolutely not true.
I'm changing my major.
I'm in the same program as you, and that is not true.
No, you're in the advanced program.
I have 2 dance finals.
What?
Oof.
I remember those.
Oof.
Dance finals. So you have to just do a dance?
You have to choreograph.
I have to choreograph 30 seconds to a minute.
Wow.
And do it twice.
Twice. That's exciting, I guess.
Yep.
That was not an exciting thing.
By yourself?
Yeah, by myself. Yeah.
Like dance it by yourself?
Yeah.
Not bad.
To any
it's when you
song
have
or a
to. It's when you
specific
get
song?
other people in there, then they fuck everything up. We had to do.
See, that would be
groups.
me.
Okay, so...
No, because
Yeah.
you're committed.
No.
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 Well, then you.
No.
I just hate the people that
No.
weren't committed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have finals. I'm not worried about it because one thing that I love about the two professors that I have this semester is that they both have this idea that you're not teaching. They're not testing your memory. They're testing your ability to know the material. So we can have like our books and our notes and everything, because in the real world you're going to have resources.
Right.
It would be foolish to assume like you have to cram and pack all this information in your brain temporarily.
And because when you're going to need to use these skills, it's like, oh wait, no, all of my resources have now vanished.
Yeah, it's like when your teachers in school said you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket forever.
Bullshit.
To be fair, I don't think they knew, but
No. They knew.
They knew. Teachers
Even the
know.
first, the really basic flip phones
had
had calculators on.
But even so, you'll never have a calculator in your pocket. If you are doing something that would require you use a calculator, you're gonna get a calculator and put it in your pocket.
It's not like a math professor just sits there I don't need a calculator.
Unless you get
motherfucker has one.
abducted and someone's like, you have to do this math problem, otherwise I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Well, then I'm fucked anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I'll say, can I have a calculator? And then if they say no, I'll be like, why? And then we'll have that conversation.
And then by the time you get they get really into it, you slip out the back door.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're like, all right, let me get you a calculator, and then they try to find one, and then you're just like, I'm out of here.
Peace.
Yeah. Now I'm going to set traps up in my home.
Yeah.
All right, so Peeves and Qs, what do we do here, you guys? Who wants to answer this question for me? What's our theme song?
We bitch.
Well, that's right.
Hard.
Yep. Who wants to start?
Who wants to bitch first?
Sounds like you do. Yeah, go. Do it.
Okay. So
Okay, Tina. Let's go.
my peeve this week is when people say, or more the idea of a type of person.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah?
That just bugs me because people are complex streams of consciousness, right? We have broad emotional spectrums.
Right.
So to hear someone say something like, oh, they're the creative type, or they're the emo type, or they're the punk type, no, they're people. I mean, yes, those are attributes of them that they present and that you can see.
Yeah.
But the most creative person you have has a boring side. The most boring person you know has a creative side. Mm-hmm. There aren't really types of people. They're just people. And you can see different things in them, but they're complete, complex human beings. And to ignore that is just kind of self-centered, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think people inherently try to ignore that or try to label to that extent. I think for some it's I think most people don't disregard other people's attributes that aren't readily shown or aren't there. The problem becomes when there are those people, those few people that just ruin it for everybody.
I would disagree.
Yeah.
I would think that calling somebody type of person is reification. The idea that is what that is, and that is to look at a person, a complex being in a narrow view is not seeing the whole picture. And I think a lot of people who use those terms do that simply because they don't actively think about it.
And it's easier.
Right.
It's I can take what this person is, which is, complicated and has a lot of moving parts, and be like, they are this type of person. Now I don't have to think about it anymore.
Exactly.
Right.
That is a human trait, to know what you're talking about, to simplify anything that you can.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I totally get that, because sometimes I do get just oh, Jody's very crafty. And I'm like, way more than that.
I do a lot
way more than just making yarn.
Plus, there's a lot of societal expectations that go along with that. If you're the creative type, then you're expected to be creative, and you're expected to like creative things. But if you are a person who hates music or whatever, I'm not.
Don't fucking look at me.
I'm just saying. If somebody says, "Oh, you're a really creative type," oh, you want to go to this art show or whatever? It's why would I want to do that? I don't hate myself that way.
Right? Yeah. That totally makes sense.
I'm not dissing on art shows. I just hate them. So
I hate the term theater person or like
I hate
because
it's awful.
Because like
it's awful.
Okay. Yes, I'm an actor. Yes, like I participate in shows, and yes, I go see shows, and I like shows, and I like all aspects of performance and the theater craft. That's fine.
Yeah. So you're.
But like, if I go to a show, for example, that one show of Romeo and Juliet, that weird version of Romeo and Juliet, where it was like, how would you?
I would describe it as someone did drugs. And then wrote down what they could remember from Romeo and Juliet, and that was the production.
Yeah.
Okay,
from
gotcha.
Last year. Yeah.
At the Whiting.
I mean, I sat there and I went, this is objectively very good.
Mm-hmm.
I walked out and I went, I didn't like it. And so many people, or like from our show, looked at me and went, well, why? Like, you should like it. I mean, you're a theater person.
Yeah.
This is coming from other, quote-unquote theater people. I'm like, I am allowed to have an opinion.
Yeah.
Outside of what
and I do not have to.
And I hate this too. Like, I don't like abstract theater.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I will probably never go see a performance of Waiting for Godot. Mm-hmm. I just won't subject myself to it. I won't do it. But you're a theater person. You should like theater.
Not always.
No.
Right.
Right. That's exactly it. There are those broad spectrums within even individual traits.
Especially for like an outsider who doesn't know a lot about a specific area, they see this one thing and they're like, oh, that represents this entire area.
Right.
So like if there was like if somebody never saw a stage show in their life and then they saw one that was like super weird, they would think that's what that is. So when you say I didn't like it, they'd be like, well, you should because you like theater stuff.
I remember one time I got tickets for a gift. I think it was for my birthday a couple years ago, and it was for it was for a cabaret show down in Detroit, and I said, oh, thank you. I took the tickets, and then they found out that I had given away the tickets.
Yeah.
And they were really upset. Like, well, why? Well, you like theater? I don't. I'm sorry. I don't.
You like food, right? Would you like just a giant mushroom with nuts sprinkled on it?
Like I am sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't fit into your expectation of what...
Right.
I don't know.
Hold on. Is that like your worst fear of something to eat? Mushrooms with nuts sprinkled on it?
The problem is I have a ton of foods that I hate.
You do.
But I was trying to come up with something that like most people would also hate.
I'm with you.
Okay. Because
I too would hate a big mushroom.
You know what food I can't stand? This might be a good question for later, but roast. Like pot roast.
You do, and I completely understand why you don't, but
it depends
very
on how
hard.
it's cooked because different families cook it very differently.
But they're all
But
stringy.
he doesn't like any of them.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Based on the softness of the meat.
It's not just. I mean, yeah, that sucks too, and it's like stringy, and you have to floss your teeth when you eat it. But it's also just like the flavor, and they also always put in like steamed vegetables. And if I have to eat steamed carrots another day in my life, I will. Jump off something.
Let me just write that on that
Never
list.
Gonna make hot roast
never gonna make
Yes,
steamed vegetables. It's gonna be a good wife.
I love steamed carrots.
You can
like
eat them all day long. I don't care.
steamed carrots and potatoes with some meat and some like juice. Oh,
see, steamed carrots give me heartburn.
I get that.
What?
Yeah.
That was just a joke. Like, what
No,
do you mean?
that definitely could happen based on the sugars and everything like that. But yeah.
Well, shit. I was just trying to be funny.
So there's a reason that people say like, oh, there's theater people and then there's theater people. It's like, no, because you're differentiating between two different types of theater people, you can't use that to define anyone because you're literally proving the point against what you're trying to say by saying that type of thing. So I don't know if your peeve was. If you said your peeve in response to his, like a really good segue.
I did not.
Okay,
no.
so
no.
Any more points on the type thing?
Nope, we're good.
Well,
I'm the asshole type.
Yeah. Well,
yes, yes.
I've always thought of like whenever somebody says like, there's two types of people. There's people who watch Breaking Bad and there's people who don't.
That is accurate.
It's like, yes, you're correct, but not everybody who doesn't watch Breaking Bad can be categorized as such because...
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would like to know that I'm not in that group.
Yeah, it's like all non-Breaking Bad watchers are like this. You can't do that.
Quick question. What type, since you said you're the asshole type, what is the type that you fall into a lot or hear people call you the type?
Oh shit, I was joking.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, what is
What is yours?
No, I'm the nice guy. Like, I
You're the
genuinely
nice type.
try not to make anyone mad.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do, but I just come out being an asshole. So I
you're the
am the
asshole
asshole type.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably creative or funny. One of those two.
You're the Abed type.
The Abed.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Do we want to talk about this now?
We will, as soon
Okay.
as I give mine. Mine's the resting bitch face type.
Ooh, yeah.
Constantly.
That was good.
RBF with the updo.
The other day, our one of our guest, one-time guest, special guest once, Duper Rodriguez was over, and
And
I
we
refuse to call him that.
I know, yeah, Doopy. He's Doopy. We were talking about Community and how good of a show that was, and I can't remember how this came up.
I think because he made some joke and we said, "You're such a Pierce."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you're such a Pierce, and then we were like,
Oh my god!
Right?
it gets better. It gets better because we were like, all right, we're doing this. Who's everybody? Who's everybody else? So you were Annie.
No doubt. Absolutely no doubt.
Oh
that
my
I would
God.
not be
Yeah.
Annie.
I was Abed,
God.
because of course. You...
He was Jeff.
Yeah, you were Jeff,
Jordan
which
was
makes sense. We said that one of your friends ended up being Shirley because we just don't know anybody who's like that.
Yeah, my friend Alyssa. Shout out. Alyssa.
Who was Troy? Oh, Taylor.
Taylor was our Troy.
Taylor was
Taylor
Troy.
was Troy.
And guess who Britta was?
Jordan, right?
Yeah, it was Jordan. Jordan got
Jeff and
Britta. Just lump those two together.
I am absolutely nothing like Britta.
I know, but you were the closest.
No, I am absolutely nothing like Britta.
It's because you're blonde.
You're
Yeah,
blonde.
that's exactly. The one left, yeah.
God damn.
And you're the worst, so.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So very
And
good.
that was our Community bit. That was fun.
Back to Pete.
Good job, everybody. Peeves. Your Peeves when people call you
My-
Britta.
My peeve relates to yours, like, in a weird sort of, like, meta way, sort of the idea of one thing being something that it isn't, or... So, my grandmother does this thing where she'll go, for example, like, we have she has the dining room table is a circle table that can pull apart and you can put a leaf in.
Sure.
It was Thanksgiving, people were over Thanksgiving, the leaf needed to be put in, and I got there, and I was there for about an hour, and she's what she's asking me to do is put the leaf in the table.
Uh-huh.
What she wants me to do is go in their bedroom, go under their bed where they keep the leaves, put it in the table. That's what she wants me
Leaves
to do.
multiple?
Yeah.
There are two. Yeah.
Oh.
You can put in one or you can put in two.
No, he means like the separator and then go outside, get some fucking leaves and put them on the table.
I meant like, do they have different colors for like different events? Like, oh,
No.
it's Thanksgiving, so
Stop.
put the orange one in.
No.
Stop. You know nothing.
That'd be cool, though. That's
would be
an
cool.
idea.
So that's what she wanted me to do,
Yeah.
right? Here's what she said. Hey, would you like to put a leaf in the table?
Oh. Yeah.
To which I responded, no, I wouldn't, thanks.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Did I know what she meant?
Yep.
Absolutely. Of course I did. I'm not an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
That bothers me.
Yeah, it does.
Because it's not... While, yes, she truly does believe that is more polite to ask that way.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that she felt that she had to say it that way because it's more polite...
Yeah.
Just say what you mean. Just ask me what you want to ask me.
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm going to do it.
Right.
Like, you know I don't actually care. Do I want to do it? No, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
Just ask. Don't... So I don't... My peeve is people who phrase things or go out of their way to put on this, like, veneer of, like, nicety or politeness
Yeah.
when that is far from what they mean.
Right.
I have coworkers that will do that.
It's infuriating.
Yeah.
I've been saying for years, whenever somebody says, "Hey, would you want to help me do this?" I'll be like, "No, but I will." That's always my response. It's like, "No, but I will."
But I will.
I don't want to do that. I would rather not. If I had the choice, I would not do it. But I will because you're a friend or your family or whatever. And I
think that's a generational thing.
Me and a guy I work with have this ongoing game, right? So generally, I'll be running the kitchen because that's what I do. And I'll be like, "Hey, I need you to throw me in 6 burritos." And he'll be like, "No." So I'll say, "Thank you." Because he's gonna fucking do it, even though he doesn't want to. But yeah, like, it's that kind of thing. Like, obviously, no one wants to do anything. Like, we'd rather just not.
Yeah.
But we will.
No, I put it together now. Breakfast burritos.
Yes.
I was really confused. I'm like, you do not work at Taco Bell, do you?
No, he now works at Burger King and sells the Whopperito.
I completely believe that is a thing.
That is a thing.
What if you
a
had
Whopperito?
Whopperito.
I mean, we have the Mac wrap, so of course they stole it.
It's either gone now, but it legit. I had one.
Oh, okay. So this was the Whopper in the wrap.
Yeah.
Okay.
They called it but they had like a special sauce. It was a spicier, tangier sauce. Like,
I hate everything about what you're saying right now.
Burger King has. They're just.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I feel like it might be a generational thing, to answer your question.
Thank you.
I've only noticed...
It may not be a generational thing as much as it is, like... You're going to hate this. But we are all kind of the same type of like, person.
Yeah.
Like... We have a lot of the same. We have a lot, right? We have a lot of the same attributes. We have a lot of common interests. We approach things though differently, coming from a pretty.
I think it's fair to say we have a similar sense of humor, and a similar. Well, no, similar view of the world is not accurate.
No.
Well, I do feel like we all
temperament.
Whether
we're all snarky,
we are all raging assholes underneath.
Yes. I think
not so underneath for myself, but yeah.
Some of us are rather reluctant about it, but I think all of us here tend to think of things more than most people do.
Probably.
So most people would just say, most people would just say, it's like, "Oh, would you want to help me with this?" Because that's just the way they were raised, or that's what they think is polite. But we all think it's like, if I think about that, it's like they're saying this. It's like they're putting their politeness before my feelings or whatever.
And to me, instead of it reading as polite, it actually reads to me as being very rude.
It kind of does.
That and like undermining, like you're talking down.
Yeah, it's
that's
like,
what I take it as.
It's
like,
even though I know my grandmother did not mean it that way.
Right.
But she has to be aware of how that
here's why
is perceived.
Here's why it's taken as rude. It's because she doesn't actually care about the answer to that question.
No, right, exactly.
Yeah. It's like, would you want to help me? No, but I will. Good, that's what I wanted. I don't care if you want to help me or not. Yeah. I just want you to help me. So
the thing that the actual words that came out of her mouth that formed a question. The response to that is irrelevant.
Right. Yes, and
there is no meaning behind the words that she actually said.
That's what I think the rudeness.
We have one hygienist and we have a hygiene assistant who like cleans the room after each appointment, and so it's just one hygienist. And I think I've blocked it out now, but when I first started working, used to say to the hygiene assistant over our head radio, so we all hear it, like, "Hey, so and so, do you want a tray?" Like she's a fucking dog, and I could not stand it. Like, "Who wants a tray? Come get my tray." I used to fucking lose my mind over that.
I would lose my shit.
Either she doesn't say it anymore, or I completely just blocked it out.
If there is one thing, regardless of who has what position, or if I'm superior or inferior to somebody, if they treat me like a dog or an animal, fuck you. Absolutely fuck you.
Does that happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
She, again, did not mean it like that.
Sure.
She, putting on, just trying to be nice, but to me, that's exactly how it came off, is you're treating me like a dog.
Uh-huh.
Not that I'm the hygiene assistant, but...
like,
whatever.
So, wait, so you asked, was it you, or was it Jordan that asked, do people actually do that?
Yeah, I asked.
Yeah, so when I still worked at the movie theater, one of my coworkers, who I actually really like, she's actually a really cool person, but there was one time where I about snapped because we were joking around, and she's like, "All right, boy, come here." come here. And I was like, I stopped and I said, fuck off. You want to try that again? Yeah. That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta do that.
Right. Wow.
Good one. Yeah, never really thought about that too much. You got one?
I did.
You did? I'll jump over to mine.
A really good one.
Mine, I haven't really quite formed my peeve yet, and I'm not sure where I want to direct it, but I definitely, something inside me pricks when I heard about this. So, watching either Entertainment Tonight or that really scuzzy one that's on after Jeopardy.
Fox News.
Something like it's not the news, but it's one of those. It's like if a tabloid was a TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, TMZ?
Maybe. Yeah, that's probably it. I don't even know. I never watch it, so it was just on the TV. And of course, I looked at when I heard the word Chris Pratt or the name.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love Chris Pratt.
Yep. So do I. And so they're starting to talk about him. And actually, what they're doing is talking about Anna Faris, who he's married to, and that
I keep forgetting about that.
she has a podcast. Apparently, we should listen to it.
Oh.
Have you ever listened to it?
I have not, no.
You have not? Okay, so she has a podcast. And she was talking about on her podcast about a tabloid that she had seen about Chris allegedly having an affair with J-Law, or Jennifer Lawrence.
Whatever.
In the new movie that they have out, I don't even care. It looks stupid because J-Law's in it.
Passengers. It looks really good.
Yeah, it does. But I will never see it because it's J-Law in it. And she was talking about, she's just like, I know, she's like, I want to believe that my husband would never do that. But seeing a tabloid, always makes you so insecure because he's out in LA, now he's like this huge movie star, all of a sudden, like within the last 3 years, has just really blown up.
Yeah, and what is Anna Faris doing?
And yeah, exactly. And she literally states, he's out in LA making movies, and I'm at home raising our son.
Oh.
And so I don't really know where I want to point my anger. If it's either to Chris Pratt, if he had this affair with Jennifer Lawrence. Which, why? Two, and going off of that, why? Because now you're a good-looking guy and think you can get whatever you want? Mm-hmm. Or Anna Faris for being so insecure in her relationship because, before all this happened, she always talked, there was always all these stories about how perfect, Chris and Anna were and all that crap. Or at the tabloid. So, all of those points, I'm just like, this makes me angry that this is even happening.
I think my response to that, for me, it's a tabloid because tabloids, by their nature, use the baser, wants and needs of who we are as people to sell. There's a reason, there's a reason why this Drac sells.
Yeah.
It's because people find it juicy or
delicious.
The gossip
Sinful.
is good or I want to picture these people that I admire know better than me because it makes me feel better about myself.
Yeah.
Totally.
Now, speaking to Chris Pratt, I obviously don't know him.
Right.
No. I've never worked with them.
Nope. No.
I have not spent any time.
Not yet, but if you want to come on this podcast.
We welcome you. I love you.
From what I understand from interviews he has given, from interviews other people have given and have talked about him, based on the work that he does, I would venture a guess that he is one of those people that is on set, will joke between takes, but ultimately, the second filming is done, walks off because it's a job. Loves it while he's there, but walks off. I don't know. I would venture a guess.
My biggest fear is because he was not that typical, superhero type of person, and now he is. I just fear that will go to his head. Chris, don't let that go to your head.
Yeah.
Please.
You're better than that.
Because that's what was so refreshing when, he finally, he came on this scene. It was like, oh my gosh, this guy is funny. He's down to earth, and
everyone likes him.
Yeah, everyone likes him. And no one was like, oh, he's the fat best friend. It was different. It was a new character that I had never really, sunk my teeth into, but I really liked it. So I just don't want that to change. Okay, just don't change.
Don't change. Never change. You're beautiful.
I know. So that was mine.
Yeah.
Do you want to throw anything in there?
Chris Pratt, stay Midwestern.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
we love him because he's the Midwest stereotype. He's just a nice dude.
Right.
Like, he's
Yeah.
a simple guy. He happens to be a really good actor, but he's a simple, down-to-earth dude.
He's really good.
Don't change that. And also, is he not, like, married to Aubrey Plaza? Didn't that, like, happen?
I wish. I fucking wish.
Hey, how does Anna Faris feel?
I couldn't give two rats' ass if that was a real thing. Talk about a true life Meg and Hercules right there.
Oh,
but,
my God.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Chris Pratt. That was cool.
So that was mine.
Awesome. Any last words on Chris Pratt? Please come on the show.
Yeah.
Peeves and Q's podcast at gmail.com.
Looking forward to Guardians Volume 2.
Yeah, has anyone... There was a new teaser just released
I
this weekend.
can't watch
Has
them
anyone
now. I
seen it?
can't watch teaser
I know.
trailers
I
now
don't-
because they
these-
ruin everything
yeah.
for me.
This new trailer, which isn't a teaser, it's actually described as an actual full-blown trailer. I know nothing about the movie after watching this. Nothing.
Well, I don't want to make up my own.
Right.
That's my problem because
Yeah.
I watched every trailer for Jurassic World
Yeah.
for a whole year and really skunked myself because I made a better story in my head than what
A
actually
lot of
happened.
Chris Pratt movies going around lately.
That's what made it so fun to watch.
Yeah, that was good.
Chris Pratt was in it.
It was,
I thought Chris Pratt was wasted in that movie.
oh yeah, definitely.
Wasted.
But he
Completely.
was still the best part of it.
Yes,
right.
because we
No,
know
right.
fucking Bryce Dallas Howard was not the best.
Don't understand your
she's
hate for that woman.
She's such a. I can't even.
I like
she's
her a
the
lot.
worst.
Yeah, me too. What's wrong
I
with her?
really like her work.
Oh,
Like-
I do not.
We're gonna offend B-Dow How on here.
I'm not saying that.
B-Dow How, come on. B-Dow How. B-Dow How. All right, we're done.
No, I will
I'm
walk out.
Okay, well,
so done.
my peeve is, and I'm careful about phrasing here,
Yes.
the conservative right-wing mindset.
Do you think this is
idea.
why our ratings are low?
Probably is. You know what?
Oh, we just lost our one listener.
My peeve is
Who
about...
downloaded it 4 times?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for the downloads. Not about them in general, although separate podcasts, but I'm just saying it tends to be this type of people that has a problem with this, which is where... Sorry.
Type of people, yeah.
Well, I feel like certain,
There you go.
I feel like certain types of people can fit into certain categories.
I mean, yes, there are
yeah.
social orders and whatnot.
It's this idea that sex and nudity are more taboo than violence.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, I don't understand this, and I have found that
Yeah.
it is the conservative mindset anyway that voices the strong out of opinion, specifically with regards to Game of Thrones, because they had shows where they were like chopping off horses' heads and people would die and everything, and it's like, oh, this is a violent show. But then people started stripping and having sex, and everyone's like, this show can't be on the air; it's too salacious and everything.
Let me give you an example. Let me help you with your peeve.
Good.
What you know, new to the Game of Thrones. So in season 5,
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
Yes. Are they? They're going into season 7, right?
Season 7 is about.
I want to say the ending to season 5. You haven't gotten
I don't
there.
care.
Okay. Sansa marries Ramsay.
Ramsay. Oh, this is in season 5. Yeah.
Okay.
What you're about to say.
Yeah. And at the very end of this one episode, you know, they get married and
What you do when you get married
Yeah.
is you consummate the marriage.
Consummate your marriage.
Even though
And-
she does not
want to
marry him or be with him in any way because he's a
nor
monster.
does she ever in that scene say the word no.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and after that episode, the entire world was like, we have to get this show off
Right.
the air.
It's like everything that happened up to that point, there were characters that were getting raped like off screen or there was threatening to
Right.
rape and everything.
Yet you see the exact same situation with Daenerys and Drogo
Yep.
Right.
in the very first season.
In the
And
very
she is a
first
lot more
episode.
upfront about
she-
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yet you don't see Sansa consummating her marriage.
Right.
That's like defiling what consummation of marriage.
Right,
is.
right.
But you see everything of Daenerys, and I just think it's bullshit that
Right.
that
And we talk about it, it's because we were introduced to Daenerys and Khal Drogo, and then almost immediately that happened. And then we learned that these two start to like each other, and we learned that Khal Drogo's like actually kind of nice for being a barbarian.
And that's why.
Whereas,
no, it's because everyone loves to watch the sex, but they don't like to say that they like to watch it.
right, but Ramsey is a monster, and people know that by the time that scene happens. And I don't know if people were angry that it happened, or
which, by the way, is why that scene is effective.
Right. It was supposed to make you feel that way. Like, you weren't.
You are actually supposed to feel gross and nasty.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if people care about Sansa, or if it was just the fact that it happened.
It's probably because she's the young one, which, if you read the books, Daenerys is young.
Yeah,
young.
Daenerys is 13 years old.
Yeah, that happens.
Her birthday happens after she gets married. She gets married when she's 12 years old. That's crazy bananas.
So take that, people who don't like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and it's just like I've heard this like from a few different like places. Just people getting really upset when somebody is naked or saying bad words, but. Like, action movies that have a ton of violence in it can be rated PG-13. But if they say more than 3 F-bombs, it's an R rating. Like, what is the deal there?
So, I'm quoting George Carlin, who was quoting someone else that he couldn't remember who said it. But in one of his stand-up specials...
So it may not be true.
Yeah, this is a game of telephone we're playing.
Well...
But go on.
He was making the philosophical point about the same exact thing. Mm-hmm. About how he would rather his children see 2 people making love than 2 people killing each other.
Yeah.
Then, of course, he goes into a bit about replacing the word kill with the word fuck in every movie.
Oh.
Because that'd make Westerns more interesting.
Nice.
But, like, yeah, killing people is horrible. It only happens for, like, 3 reasons. Like, anger, protection, and justice. Like,
or insanity.
It's just not a thing that is a good thing. That's death.
Yeah.
As to where sex is perfectly normal.
Yeah, and healthy.
And sometimes life.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I saw this Reddit post a while ago, like back when I first started using Reddit, which was just this idea that everyone, presumably, is going to have sex in their life, probably multiple times, whereas almost nobody, or at least in America, because we're very lucky in that way, is going to have to kill somebody or watch somebody die or shoot someone or have these violent things happen to them. So why are we like trying to indoctrinate people towards this violence where that's not going to be a part of most people's lives, whereas sex should be, I think, more normalized than it is, because then the pressure's gone, I think, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I'll tell the story of how I think we came up with why this was such a problem.
Right.
I have a friend who we mentioned earlier.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Who is
the Shirley one from Community
is very religious, and we're really good friends. And I asked her when I started watching Game of Thrones. I said, "Do you watch Game of Thrones?" And she says, "No, me and my boyfriend do not watch that because it's too sexual."
But what show did she say?
But
that
then
she
we
watched?
went Black Friday shopping and come across all this Walking Dead stuff, and she's like, "Oh my god, I love Walking Dead. I can't get enough of it." And I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" And then she starts talking about, of course, the new season and what was happening in that first episode, and I'm just like, double standard much?
Right.
Like, okay.
In addition to The Walking Dead just being garbage and Game of Thrones being good, it's just also this like double standard with regards to adult content.
Also,
that being said, I mean, if for some people the sexual stuff is legitimately like, we don't watch that show because they personally don't, fine. Totally fine. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think it's necessarily double standard if that is something they as people are uncomfortable with. But then to impose that on others and say this is bad and this isn't bad.
And I think
it's the imposition on other people that I think is the
And I think what you're
absolutely.
It's like that's all that's true. But what you said about it makes them uncomfortable. I think it's why it makes them uncomfortable, because it's just so other to them. It's the same reason why.
Exactly.
It's the same reason why I think people have this perception of gay people. It's like, it's okay to be gay. I just don't want to see it. I want it to be else. I want it to be other, because they just don't see like public displays of affection between 2 men or whatever. And if they were to see more of that, then they would be like, okay, so this is just they're just like regular straight people. So I think it's a similar sentiment. It's like sex happens, but I don't want to see it in my movies. Right. I want it to be other. I want it to be like, I'd watch porn for that. Whereas violence, they're like, yeah, bring on violence.
It's also crazy that The Walking Dead is on AMC, which is on basic or not basic cable, but like your standard cable.
Yeah, it's like I think everybody just has
Comcast
AMC,
package
right?
or whatever. Yeah. But you have to go out of your way to get Game of Thrones. You have to have HBO.
And because
they show tits.
Yeah, nudity. It's like I think this is a very American idea that sex is behind such a wall, and kids are so sheltered. Kids are so sheltered from
do I think that there are certain ages in which certain exposure is and isn't okay? Absolutely, but to completely hoard it off just fucks people.
You get Josh Duggars that way. That is exactly how you get Josh Duggars.
Subway.
No. 18 kids in counting, or 19 kids, or 20 kids, or 21, or whatever.
However many there are now.
Well, that's the thing, and So this, of course, comes from a biased source, because I am someone who is comfortable with their sexuality. Mm-hmm. But I think it's really unhealthy that people aren't. I think, as a culture, we have this connection with sex to intimacy because it is an intimate thing.
Right.
But we're not willing to be intimate with many people. Mm-hmm. Like, intimacy is this closely guarded thing that we hold very tightly, and it's like, no, I mean, yes, sex is intimate, but I think that because they hold back that intimacy in their private lives, they don't understand their own sexual side,
right.
And because they don't understand it in themselves, they don't want to see it in others because they don't really get how that is.
Yeah, because it stirs stuff up and it makes them feel...
Right, they don't know how to feel.
For example... someone who isn't comfortable in their own sexual identity would not be okay with watching the Drago and Daenerys scene because they don't understand that urge. Like, they don't understand that very base, like...
Right. I agree. I think what this one of the many things that this could be accredited to is the idea that people try to keep emotions out of everything else. It's like when you're going through life, when you're at your work, when you're hanging out with friends, you just try to be like, hey, we're just here, we're all hanging out and everything. But those emotions are there, we're just trying not to think of them or bring them up or whatever. It's why, like, when people are debating with each other and they're, like, getting angry, they're trying not to get angry or whatever, and just in general.
Because that's unprofessional. Which is what we talked about in our last episode.
But why is it unprofessional? I think it's just a social thing.
Yeah.
So, I think this comes from that. It's like, this makes me feel something, and I don't want that. I want to not feel something right now.
And then to feel that, it's immediately associated and rejected.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, I think that's the problem there.
Yep. Good peeve.
Wow. Yeah. That was fun.
Good
job, guys.
Okay, so, questions.
Clever girl.
Who wants to...
Oh, no, that was yours.
Mine was the Chris Pratt thing.
Oh, yeah.
We did that.
We got it going. I was going to say something before.
I'll start.
I'll do it. Get ahead.
My question is, what is the biggest incidents a time?
Okay.
That was perfect.
A time. What is the time?
Right. That your parents, like, it can either be the biggest, like, the most egregious, or just something you're comfortable with sharing. That your parents overstepped and completely invaded your privacy as an adult.
Yup.
From the peanut gallery.
Do you want to jump in on this?
Oh, look out!
We got a very
super special guest.
You wanna, yeah.
Hey, she can just be special guest because he's our one-time guest, not our special
guest.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Tim's story.
You've been here before. You didn't
This is
introduce
Taylor.
yourself.
I've been here before.
Hi.
Hello. Why don't you repeat your question there, buddy?
So, my question, and I brought this up not because I have an answer, though I will, but because she has an answer. Yeah. What is a time as an adult that your parents have completely overstepped and invaded your privacy?
Okay. So this went down maybe just within the past 24 hours.
Uh-oh. Fresh.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it did.
And somehow, 3 of the people at this table were involved.
Yeah.
Oh.
What? Am I one of these
No.
Oh, good.
I would have.
I was like,
God.
So I'm a 20
Actually, you were, because I texted you.
Really?
What?
Guys, that's not fair. I know nothing.
It's okay, Jody.
Completely left out.
Wow.
you didn't know about this.
I had no idea.
Okay, so I'll tell my part of the story
Okay,
once.
actually, let's just layer in. You start.
Okay.
Start backwards.
Think
I
about
want
it.
to read.
No, you no.
I want to read the text that I got
Okay.
from
I'm
Jordan.
so excited.
It's like
hear about
last
this.
night.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
so I'm sitting reading comic books in that chair over there, and I suddenly get
Last night? Yep.
oh no!
I
last
thought
night.
you got it this morning.
2:35.
Yesterday.
2:35 p.m. 2:35 p.m. I got a message from Jordan saying, "Do you know where Connor is?" And I text him back, "Yeah, he's right. You had literally walked through the hallway as soon as I got this text. You were walking away." I said, "Yeah, he's here at the apartment." To which you said, "Taylor's mom is trying to get a hold of Taylor, and now she's texting me to get a hold of Connor. Tell him to get his phone and tell Taylor to text her mom." And then in parentheses, that lady is a bit comedic, of course. And then almost immediately, never mind, apparently Taylor just did.
Which I text you because she had started texting me when I got out of work at noon.
Yeah.
Can I
And
just apologize for that?
and of course, Taylor and I, being an ex-couple, her mom has my number, and she's like, "Jordan, I'm so sorry. This must be an awkward position, but I'm trying to get a hold of Taylor. Do you have
my
Connor's
God.
number?" It's like,
This must be-
yeah.
This must
So
be an awkward position.
I
so
text the
don't
number to
fucking do
her,
it.
Right.
and she tries to get a hold of Connor and can't. So I'm like, maybe they're just ignoring Taylor's mom. I'll call him. Because
No.
I want her to stop.
No.
Yeah.
That is not
That actually wasn't true.
That was not even true. That wasn't even remotely true.
Okay,
My mom.
so what happened?
My mom likes to stay in contact with me every day, several times a day. Which, sure, that happens. Some people like it. I don't. So she had texted me. What's today? Sunday. She had texted me Friday afternoon. Just what are your plans for the day? What's going on? So I told her like my whole itinerary for that evening. Like, hey, my friend Dominique is turning 21. I'm gonna go hang out with her for a while. So me and Connor will be over there chilling. Just telling her where I'm going to be. And she said, okay, yeah, sure, have fun. Later that night. That was around 1:30 p.m. So, like, around 11 o'clock that night, she texted me, "Oh, good night, love you," the standard mom text, good night. And I
Every night.
read it, every night. It's every night, good night, I love you, and if I don't respond, it's, like, another message until I respond. It's just,
Hello? You
hello?
there?
Question mark, yeah. So, I read it, and I was like, oh, okay, love you too. And, like, I just didn't actually respond, because I don't know, I'm only human.
I don't know.
My biggest fault.
And you don't have an obligation to do that, I would think.
Right.
Well,
So-
yeah.
We went to bed around. We were still at the White Horse from we left maybe around 11:30.
Yeah.
So we went to bed sometime shortly after that,
Yeah.
and then we slept till about 2:30
Yeah.
on Saturday. So we slept for a while, and at that point, I woke up to 5 missed calls and 9 text messages.
Oh, in the ditch calls, yeah.
And I had looked at my phone at 1:15. Hey, it's 1:15. You should get up. But I had nothing on my phone.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yours was dead, wasn't it?
But then between
Oh, it died,
1:15 and her mom trying to get a hold of me,
It died.
It died.
Okay.
So it was on its last legs when you checked.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have this string of messages saying, hey, we're going to be out today. Do you want to go to lunch with us? Hey, please respond. We're trying to plan our day. Would like to know. Hey, where are you? Hello? Question mark. I'm getting concerned. If you don't answer in the next few minutes, I'm going to text Jordan for Connor's number. And then she's like, please call me. And I ended up calling her I ended up texting her saying, hey, I'm so sorry.
I'm sleeping.
I went to bed. I slept in late. I'm really sorry. She was furious. And later that day, I got a text from AT&T saying, your phone is signed up for Family Map.
Yay!
Click this link to verify. I'm like, what the fuck is Family Map? I don't
Time
like
to
the
get
sound
my
of
own
that.
phone plan.
So, well, I look it up, and it one of the examples for why Family Map should be used is, do you want to make sure your child comes home from school on time? It's
So,
like to locate your phone.
there are some details of this that you left out.
I did.
Yeah, that I'm going.
Sorry, I'm still
talk
seething
about.
with rage.
I know.
I just have a question for you. Are you 16 or younger?
No.
Okay, well, I think that this is
No.
a little bit...
Contrary to her belief, I am not.
She does not live with her parents.
No, I live on campus.
She lives on campus. You are 20. And who pays for the dorm?
Me.
You pay for the dorm.
I pay for my phone, card, everything I need to. I pay.
Is
for
your car in your name?
It's the insurance is under my mom's, but
Is the
my
car in
is
your name?
mine, yeah.
Okay.
I just pay her my share in the insurance.
Who pays your tuition?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, future me does.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Nice,
Yeah, that's
nice.
For a long time.
Right.
Take that, future Taylor.
Yeah, I was gonna say past Jody's. Put it on me now. Yeah.
You know what this sounds like a job for? Future Taylor.
So,
She won't get
even
it.
though she lives in the dorm and is going to college and is 20 years old, pays for the dorm, pays for college,
Pays for everything any adult would pay for on their own.
she is expected to be in her room by 10 or 11 every night.
Nope.
Always,
Fuck that.
Nope.
Yep. Fuck that.
Literally
part.
just be like, I'm not doing
I
that.
think if her mom found out she was here ever,
Yeah.
it would be a
Hey,
problem.
Taylor's mom, spoilers. Don't listen
Yeah.
to this.
Oh man, I hope she's on our one list.
Yeah.
No, she's the one.
She probably is. She like she like searched your name.
That actually is scarily.
So, because of that, when they asked if she wanted to go to lunch and didn't respond, they went into Flint.
oh yeah, I forgot.
They drove into Flint.
looked for my car.
Went
To find
to her
you?
part. Yes.
Yeah, I forgot.
Went
Thank you.
but they can't get into the dorm because they
No.
don't have key access because it's
So
the weekend.
They circled around the parking garage looking for
Like
my
for your car.
And then they were like, "We can't find your car. Where are you?"
My jaw is dropped right
And
now.
I'm just,
I cannot believe
when I
this.
talked to her on the phone, I'm all angry and I'm like, she's so. I can't remember the word for word like timeline
Yeah,
of what
I
we
don't.
talked about, but she's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm in my room. I just woke up." And she's like, "Well, your car's not on campus."
Well, it's
What? I'm like, well, yeah, it is.
Yeah, I sold it. Leave me alone. It's my life.
And I told her it is, and she's like, "Well, Steve and I looked around for it, and we couldn't find it." I'm like, "Well, you didn't look hard enough." It's
Yeah,
there. I
wow.
promise, it's there. It's not there. But
And that and what bothers all of this bothers me. But like the fact that she has to lie
Yeah.
to say
I don't want to lie.
yeah.
nobody
I want
does.
to.
Yeah.
No,
At 20, she has to lie to her parents
I'm just trying to
whether
avoid,
she's spending the night with her boyfriend or
yeah.
not.
I'm just trying to avoid unnecessary arguments.
Preach. Yeah.
So I
Like,
lied.
it's-
Done that a lot. Yeah.
When I was younger, there was a rule on me where I could not go to a social gathering if the number of boys outnumbered the number of girls. So I just make
Is
it.
is your mother religious?
No, she's just insane.
Genuinely shocked by
Yeah.
this.
just
Yeah.
insane.
That
I
breaks
knew you
those
would
types.
be.
Yeah.
Genuinely shocked by this information.
No, she's just
Did she used to be or something?
nope.
Oh.
I mean, she was raised in a Catholic family, but she's always been
Okay.
very
Non-denominational.
vehemently non-Catholic.
Okay.
But she's always just had that because I'm a woman. She doesn't want
You're
me
the only
in
girl?
public. Yeah, I have a twin brother. Like she'll like we'll be out in public and she'll see a woman dressed.
Well, it's because boys have to ask, and girls can
Girls
just
accept.
Girls accept. Yeah.
Girls spread
yeah.
them and-
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But like we'll be out in public. Like, I remember being very young, like not toddlerish, but like impressionable, like maybe like 13.
Sure.
And she'll point to a lady wearing maybe like a shirt with like cleavage or something, and she's like, "Oh, well, she's just asking for it, isn't she?"
Oh.
Like, don't say that to your 13-year-old daughter. Like,
Yeah.
jeez.
Oh.
She's just she
Was
wants-
her mother like this?
No, my grandma wasn't really like there when my mom was growing up. And she was just kind of like, "Okay, I'm going away for 3 days. Like, see ya."
Okay.
So
That makes sense, though.
it's like too like I think she might be overcompensating for like the lack of control she
Maybe.
had when she was younger, but she
Yeah.
is
That makes total
way
sense, yep.
Yeah, maybe because
Yep.
she's
But
like, I
that doesn't
forgot
make
like
sense because your brother lives in the Wild West where anything goes.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, he's a boy.
Well, he's a man.
Boy,
allowed to
he's
do
got the
whatever he wants.
penis.
Yeah.
Right, he can't get knocked up.
One more thing. I want to talk about one more
One more
thing,
thing.
and then I
Yeah.
promise we're
Okay.
done. I won't make you,
You
talk
can go.
more about.
Okay.
We'll move on to other
Anymore.
parents.
I'll go
Yeah.
back to doing my shitty homework. Right.
You have a joint bank account
yes.
with your mother.
Oh, so she can monitor how
where
much.
her money is.
Uh-huh.
You transferred money out
I-
of the shared.
No,
In-
it's
wait,
my
okay.
own personal
Okay.
thing, but like I transfer money into her account to pay for the car insurance, which is under her name.
Right.
So like
okay.
she has like she can oversee
Uh-huh.
the other ones. Like if
Yeah.
she wants to go into like my bank account, my brother's bank account,
Right.
she can. like what she'll, which I don't care, but what she'll do is she'll go on, look where I spend money, ask me why I spent it, who I was with, where I went, when I spent it, what was it on.
How old are you?
See what the object is?
Oh my god!
Has this been since you've been 18?
This has been since I got my first job at 15.
We need to have an intervention.
So,
It's
but
bad.
the instance I want to talk about
Okay.
is when you took money out and put money into your account. Your money that was yours, that you earned.
Yeah.
And within a few hours?
Within about a day.
Within a day, that money was gone and back in that first account.
It was in my savings. I took it
Yeah.
out of my savings and put it in my checking so I could pay a bill before I got paid for my stage management job.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's for tires.
Yeah,
Those are the tires.
I took money out just to be on the safe side, so I wouldn't like get that low balance warning.
Right.
And I was going to put it back in my savings because everything in my savings is for my tuition.
But your mom doesn't trust you, so
Yeah, so I took it out. I transferred it. And then
Well, why
she
did you do
transferred
that?
it
Why'd you
back.
take it out of your
Well,
savings?
she transferred it back and said, "Please don't spend this money. It's for school." I'm like, I know what it's for. It's mine. I made it. Like,
yeah. Oh my
just-
gosh.
And
Give
it's
me-
for your car that you need
Yeah, it's like give me
to
the
get
money.
around while you're at school.
My tire is broken. Let me fix it. Just,
This is crazy.
but
Yep.
no.
All of this is crazy.
It's, what day is it? December 5th. I'm going to be moving back home for 2 weeks in about a week or so, and I have to have this family map argument.
Yup.
Privacy.
Best of luck to you.
Merry Christmas.
I do not envy you this task.
Me neither.
Nope.
No. Well, nice being
You know
here.
what they're going to say. You know when you have this argument, they're going to be like, well, you can't go, you now can't go to ACTF.
Oh, that's not true. I mean, it's probably true.
No, they're going to say it
Well, yeah, then I'll...
as if they have any say where you go, when you go, how you go.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just going to get in this car that I have, and I'm going to go there.
It's like...
So this is before we were dating. This is what you guys were still
Are
dating.
you talking about that day
Cedar
after?
Point?
Oh.
Talking about Cedar Point.
Oh, I was talking about
She was
something
going to go to
else.
Cedar Point with me and a couple of other of our friends, and she said she was going to go, and her mom said, "No, you're not. I'm going to take your keys, and you can't leave."
That was... It didn't start like that. I heard
No.
It ended like that.
But it sure as hell happened.
It shouldn't have... Yeah.
Yikes.
Yup. Yup.
Wow, that sounds like a problem.
It's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Good story.
Special round of applause to our special guest.
Yay for your trauma.
Yay! Makes great radio.
Okay. Bye.
But
Okay, see ya.
Well, she was a loser, right?
no,
All right, let's move on. See what I can say that.
but you were
kidding.
thinking.
Oh. All right, who wants to go next? Me?
Yeah.
So do you have a specific example? Because I don't know if I have one time.
No.
Okay. Well, I have... My mother isn't nearly as bad as all that.
But can definitely see the similarities.
Yeah, there are parallels to be drawn. She is very... if I don't get back with her, then I'm in a ditch somewhere, definitely. She's very, like... you need her. She's had conversations with me before. It's like, when I send you a text and you don't respond, it just makes me feel like I'm being disrespected.
I fucking love your mom.
Now, honey.
Not that she even talks like that.
Does
She's
it-
not soothing at all. It's
that-
like, when you don't respond to me.
Right. I'm trying to sound sad. That's my sad voice.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
as if you pick up the phone, look at it, and put it down, which you might, but like
No, he does.
or you're who you are.
Yeah.
You don't feel the phone.
Right.
You don't know the phone is not with you. Or
Yeah,
like,
or sometimes it's hey, are you want to hang out on Saturday? And whenever I'm like, "Ooh, I might have plans with Jody, I will ask Jody when I see her because she's on her way over right now. But then Jody shows up and I'm distracted by Jody, and so I just don't respond
Don't you dare pin this on me.
or whatever. Like
You're your own person.
I'm playing a video game and I
There
get
you
distracted
go.
by the video game, and it's probably more accurate. And she hasn't, now that I'm, of course, moved out, she isn't like this, but not, if I'm going to stay out late, she wants me to, like, tell her, and sometimes she'll be like, I want you back home by a time or whatever. It's just very frustrating. I don't know, I feel like I should have a specific example, but I can't think of any right now.
Your mom bought you condoms.
The first time, yeah, when was this when we started dating? Yeah, when we started dating, she was like, "We got you these condoms because
Because she seems easy.
I don't think
Subtext.
Maybe.
I don't necessarily think that.
I don't think that either. I think it was just protecting baby boy. Yeah.
It's just like you need protection and everything, and it's like
Knowing your parents, I am shocked
me too.
that
I don't
your
think
dad.
I don't think Dad bought them.
Yeah,
I think Mom bought them.
I don't think Dad knew about this.
Right, but when she said we want bullshit,
Right.
bullshit,
Mom wants.
Mom
yeah,
wanted, yeah,
Yeah, because Dad does not.
right.
right. So they just have this way about them, but I don't know if I have a specific example.
Yeah.
Plus, my mother does the thing where when she, like what we were talking about earlier, if she wants something to happen, it's almost an expectation rather than a question.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest problems that I've had. It's if you want me to do something, ask me,
Don't tell
allow
me.
me to say no, give me that option. I will probably say yes just because.
Yes.
Why wouldn't I? But maybe I'm busy, or maybe I just really don't want to do something for a specific reason, or maybe something else. But give me the option to say no, because if you don't, you're not asking, you're telling me, and like we were saying earlier, what the answer to that question is doesn't matter. I'm going to do it. She's demanding of something of me, but without demanding
Which
it.
is the problem.
Yeah.
Is that you do it every single time.
Well, right, because she guilts me into doing it.
You can rise above that.
Yeah, but I don't want to because she's my mother.
That's the problem.
That is
just,
the problem,
Just
yeah.
because you came out of her doesn't mean jack shit
Right.
to me.
No, I agree. but
But-
to her it does, and she's a human, and I don't want to hurt.
Yeah. That's just that's a thing, a part that is inside me I
Yeah.
don't understand in other people.
Right.
And we talked about that in the last episode, what makes a friend and what makes family. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
See previous.
Yeah, see previous episode.
So that's mine.
Yep.
Do you have one?
My family? No. Your family? Yes.
Right.
Yep, my family always had respect. Yeah, my family never really set any rules. You know, never had the bedtime, never had the curfew, and didn't have to check in with texts.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it was. Because not that you didn't, but I definitely earned that respect from my parents because my sister made not so good choices, and I said, not gonna do that.
And you-
showed that I didn't do that, got the respect I wanted.
And you were capable of earning respect from your parents.
Yes, which a lot of people aren't. No, don't even have that option. I.e., Taylor and Alex.
Because your parents are just like,
yeah.
you're a child, I need to protect you.
Right.
So you're just going to be this.
But pseudo mom, or your mom,
Yeah.
or she
Whatever.
likes to think she's my mother. Yeah, pried into my being, telling me that I'm not becoming a good person. So that was just basically the step of
Yeah. That sucked.
the prying into my adult life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, not only can you not talk to me that way.
Yeah, what makes you think you are going to tell, me how to be an adult?
Right.
When you can't be one yourself.
Right. So,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
So, yeah. Battles.
I imagine this is going to be a harder question for you because
I mean, the outright answer is no. My family places a high value on manning the fuck up and taking care of your business.
yeah.
So I've never had, they
And-
just expect me to do the
Yeah,
right thing.
like
and
the family.
I imagine because you're an adult, I can't see your mom.
I don't
Not,
give a
not
shit.
only overstepping. I can't see her giving a shit
No.
because you're an adult.
Right.
If
Yeah.
I fuck up, it's my problem to deal with. That's my family's thing. If you fuck up, you fix it. But I do have a great story about one time where it's just a great story.
How old were you?
It incorporates. I was 13.
Okay, so definitely not an adult, but whatever.
But this is
Still.
just a great story on that theme. So when I was 13, I had a girlfriend who was super into sex, and so was I, because I was, 13.
13.
13.
And so
Goddamn.
we were at her place, in her bedroom, doing things.
Sex things?
Yeah, scootily pooping.
Yes.
I hate you guys so much.
You, in fact, scoodled the poop. Yes, go on.
Yep.
That just sounds disgusting.
But
Does.
her mother was a caretaker for an older man who had a mental disability.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
he just walked right in there.
Wait, he lived at your house.
This was at her house.
Her
And her
mother
mom.
was a caretaker.
Right.
And the person that she was caretaking lived with you guys, them?
He was there 3 nights a week, and then another place the other nights a week.
Okay.
But so he just walks in, and he has a mental impairment. So like, he understands what's happening, but he doesn't understand how to articulate. Like, hey, stop doing that. So he just points and starts going, ah,
Oh, no.
At 13.
You were 13 years old having sex, and this old man...
And we didn't stop.
Oh my gosh! You never stopped from
I'm
your
not gonna
stories
lie,
you
that
say.
might have kept me from getting an erection ever.
Ever, yeah. Ever. It's like, well,
That's the thing.
we have a great form of child control, and it's listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
We just kept going, and she just turned and said, go back downstairs and watch the movie. And so he did.
Okay.
And so we finished, and then we walked back down, and he just looked at me for like a long time. I was like, hey, man.
Oh, no.
So how was her mom okay?
Her mom was out at the time.
Okay. Oh, okay. The girl said that. Okay.
Right.
Like, go downstairs. Okay. I thought you meant the...
No. She
I was
came up
like,
to
how on earth is that
Different
cool?
story.
Yeah.
Wow. That's insane. I'm really sorry that happened to you.
Doesn't matter, had sex.
Yeah, I mean, to a point. Sure.
A literal point. But yeah.
Okay.
So that was our first question.
That was the first question.
Wow, what a question.
Ooh, we gotta speed things up. Speed around. All right, you guys. My question for you is: we all want things in life in the future, and a lot of those things we are working towards. But my question is: what's something that is completely outside of your control that you are looking forward to in the future? That's outside of your control.
Okay.
So not things that you could influence by doing things or whatever.
Go ahead. What's yours?
Mine is, and I'm sure that people's immediately thinking of like deep things like, oh, I want this to happen to me or whatever. But mine is not, because I thought of this answer before I thought of the question, and then I didn't think that maybe the question might be a little deeper than my answer, which is I want the 6th Song of Ice and Fire book to come out, preferably also the 7th, so the Game of Thrones books, because the 6th one, The Winds of Winter, has been in the works for, or at least coming for 5 years now. 2011, the 5th book came out, and I want the 6th book because of all of the books in the series, the 5th one ended on so many cliffhangers and left so many things up for grabs. If you've seen the end of Game of Thrones season 5, imagine if there's nothing else for like, it's now been 5 years, and we don't know what's going on with all the characters. It's insane, and I really want this for a number of reasons. One, I want this story to be resolved in the way that I think it's meant to. I think a lot of what happens in Season 6 of Game of Thrones, and probably beyond, is going to happen significantly differently in the books. And there's a ton of stuff in the books that the show has never even touched on. There's like another Targaryen that sprung up and is walking around. There's, of course, Lady Stoneheart. There is...
We talked about that. We thought that was going to be shifted to another character, but it looks like that's not going to...
Stoneheart?
Yeah.
Who was it going to be?
Sansa.
Oh, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. So, just, there's so many, like, loose ends being tied up, and I understand that George R. R. Martin, he's pretty old, so if he, like, doesn't...
He told the ending of it to the producers of the show, in case he dies.
Well, he told it to them because they could work towards it in the show. And
he told them how it ends, but not how to get there.
But not how to get there. Yeah. So, and all we know is that he told them how it ends. We don't know that the show is going to end the way the books end. The show could end with, like, one big happily ever after, whereas the books could end with everybody dead. I'm not saying either of those two things are likely. I'm just saying it could be that way. So I desperately want this book to come out. It's less likely that we'll end up getting to the 7th book, and I'm kind of okay with that in a way, because it's like so far in the future. I'll probably have changed my tune once the 6th book comes out, and I'm like, we only have one book left. Come on, just finish it. But I don't know. I just really think that this book could happen. A lot of people, I've heard a lot of theories from a lot of people about it's probably not going to, and I just am not ready to give up hope yet.
I think if the next book comes out, then the other one will, because I think he's writing them together.
Yeah,
I don't know, because people say the reason that it's taking so long between books is because he's writing both of them, but it was 5 years between 2005. No, it was 6 years. 2005 was the 4th book, A Feast for Crows, and then 2011 was the 5th book, the A Dance with Dragons. Yeah. So there were 6 years. If that trend continues, then it's going to be 7 years before we get the next one. So we still have 2 years to go for this book, and then 8 years for the last one. I don't think it'll line up that way, but I really want this book to come out. It's something that, like, I've been struggling with. If this book doesn't come out, I will be probably depressed if he announces. And recently he made a post like he's still working on it. So if it's not going to happen, he hasn't given up yet, or at least publicly. So I'm still holding out hope. And that's what I want.
A new hope?
A new hope. Because I kind of recently just got into Game of Thrones last year or two. So a new hope. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime I can slide one of those in there.
That's what he said.
Was that
Why can't I say that?
Okay.
Why can't a woman say that?
You could.
You can. You just didn't.
That's on you.
I just did.
What?
Oh, anytime I could slide one of those in there. I just did say that.
No, but you... why can't you...
Why can't that be what she said? Pegging's not very common. I didn't think the viewers would get it.
Less common.
Hey, could still happen.
Stop normalizing my...
Yeah, stop putting me in a type.
Right.
Well, one downloader, if you're into pegging, that's what she said.
That is what she said. That's what they said. What's your question? What's
my answer?
Yeah.
Well, since we're not going to get all deep and mushy, I'm going to say...
You can if you want.
I
just
won't.
don't. Unless you want to, but don't.
Shut up. I am incredibly excited for Power Rangers.
There it is.
The movie, March 2017.
Power Rangers.
Haven't seen any trailer, will not watch any trailer.
You're just because you're excited to see the movie.
Yep.
You're gonna see it.
I will say nothing.
I know. I already know your opinion.
Yeah.
I have seen what Rita Repulsa is going to look like, and I already think that looks stupid. But, nevertheless, it's going to be Power Rangers. They're the original names, and from the people that they casted, they look like pretty good people that I don't know, so I'm excited to see their character development, and I like it also because you are not a fan of it, right. So you're not going to wreck this for me.
Right. I'm excited for this movie to come out because I have no attachment to the Power Rangers. In fact, I have not seen a single anything. I've never seen a movie, a TV show, an episode.
We should do a commentary to the Power Rangers movie.
So
we should.
Like, for example, the Rita Repulsa costume came out and everyone was like, oh, this looks terrible. And I'm like, it does look terrible. I have no idea. I have no context for this. I don't know if it looked...
But no, it just looks terrible from an aesthetic
it's like
perspective.
I mean, it doesn't look that bad.
It doesn't even look like... It looks like Poison Ivy is what it looks like.
Sure.
But...
I mean, to me, it just doesn't look that bad, so I don't know like where the comparisons are. It's like, this is just a stupid costume. It doesn't like, whoa, that's cool, or it doesn't make me go, it's just like there. So I'm really excited to see this movie and be like, everyone's upset. It's like, oh, this character said this, and that's not their catchphrase or whatever. And I'm like... I have no idea what
And now you will know exactly how I feel every time we go and see a Marvel movie. So that's exciting.
Hey, I'm not a Marvel guy, so I don't know.
I'm just saying, but you talk like a Marvel guy all the time.
Well, I just know some stuff.
I'm sorry, I won't typecast you into being a Marvel person.
Thank you.
Or a DC person.
No, you
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I'll accept that one.
No, I withdraw my... There is such thing as a DC person.
I am a DC person.
I am a DC person.
I'm not a comic book person. I'm a DC person.
Yes.
That was horrible.
That was a DC high five.
Hey,
like their film franchise, disappointing.
So that's fine. Power Rangers. Fucking excited for it.
Cool. Power Rangers.
Yeah, it's morphin' time.
I wish that your ringtone had gone off right then.
That would have been cool.
It did on this podcast before.
That was episode 2, yeah.
So I'm currently playing this really sweet D&D campaign. With Mr. Red and some others.
Oh, me! Hi!
Ooh, and me, I'm in those others.
Right, clever
I'm not
girls
allowed to be in it.
We're going to work on you on Wednesday. We're going to do your campaign.
Commodore Dupert Rodriguez is in it.
I refuse to call him that.
That is okay. But...
One sec. What?
You have class Wednesday.
I don't work, though, during the day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I'm excited for is to play some more of that quest because it's really fun. I enjoy the characters we have. I enjoy the campaign and where it's going. It has a big, fucking puzzle in it, and I love puzzles.
Yeah.
You're making props. I love props.
I'm a huge prop guy when it comes to D&D. I like just making things. I mean, you see this, and then put it there.
Like, you made a letter, and you changed the color of the letters to spell it. I was like, yeah!
Yeah, that was fun.
That was awesome.
I'm going to pat myself on the back for just a second, if you guys will indulge me. I think there's a lot of stuff that I'm good at, specifically because I'm a fan of those things and I see other people messing them up a lot.
Yeah.
Or not messing them up, doing things their own way that I just don't agree with. So I've had DMs before, you've had DMs before that have been like, I don't agree with the way you're DMing right now, so I as DM will do things differently.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like writing. I see writers make mistakes or just do things in a way that they think is better than other ways, and I see that and I go, this could have been great. It could have been great if you had done it this way. Obviously, it's subjective. I feel like it would have been great for me. But then I go online and see a lot of people expressing similar sentiments, and I'm like, maybe my ideas are good. So I feel like I'm good at doing things because I see other people do things, and then I interpret those, internalize them, and then put stuff out.
Sure.
Because I like making props in D&D, and I don't see that happen a lot in other games.
We need to get him in a room with Andy. It needs to happen.
Andy needs to be on this motherfucking podcast.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good idea. From what I've heard about this,
I need the group more in my life.
Text him.
Right now, text him to come over
Probably
tonight.
with Dominique.
They are probably hungover.
She is probably really hungover.
Yes. She just turned 21, so.
Well, cool. I'm glad that something that I do that you're excited for. That's nice.
really cool.
I am excited for something that will probably never happen.
No. Is it the Winds of Winter?
No. It probably won't happen until it, like, in my mind, like, it's too late. I want a good Superman movie.
Oh.
I want a good Superman movie.
I feel your pain.
Like, god damn.
I know.
Like, god damn.
So, to jump on that.
Sure.
To Superman is to you what Batman is to me.
Yes.
Like, Batman
What Power
embodies...
Rangers is to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I kind of feel bad because I've had a great Batman movie.
Yeah.
At least one. I mean, a lot of them are good, but... We've had
I
one
know,
movie
Batman and Robin is phenomenal.
Wow. Nope, shut it down. Thank you for listening to Peeves. But The Dark Knight is just, and some people don't feel the same way, but I think it is a masterpiece of cinematic perfection, and it just happens to have Batman in it. And so I feel bad that you don't have anything close to that with regards to the
Hey,
suit.
maybe after Lego Batman they'll make
Man
Lego
of Steel
Maybe.
got really close.
Man of Steel?
It got really close.
I would say it's
there are
bad.
3 major problems with that movie that keeps it from being exactly what I want.
What are they?
Zack Snyder is directing. They had Superman kill. And he doesn't fucking smile.
Yes. How long have we been saying that? It's like, in these movies, I think it was after Batman v Superman came out,
Yeah.
we were just
Yeah.
like...
I don't want a Superman that's aw shucks. Like
the
that's not what the
Smallville-
character
the
is
Smallville
anymore.
Superman.
Yeah, that's
Right.
not what that is. The dude is literally like supposed to be a symbol of like hope and
Yes.
like
Yes.
you can be what you want to be and fuck discrimination and fuck societal norms. Like it's
Sure.
smile once, man, just once.
I don't have a problem with Zack Snyder's directing, like him being a director. I think he's a great director. I feel like he could have made at least one simple change to his direction. Obviously, the story, like him killing, not up to him or quote unquote. I don't know how much that was, but the directing style just. Why gray wash everything? Why pull the color out of a Superman movie that does fundamentally seems broken?
Because cinematically, like the cinematography of this movie is beautiful, but you wouldn't know it.
You wouldn't know it, right?
You
It's
wouldn't
like
know.
everything is just like washed out in gray, and it's like it's literally supposed to be the opposite of that because it's Superman. How could you have got that so fundamentally incorrect?
Because there were
Ding, 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 ding. That's me chiming in.
yeah.
Oh.
I like that. Can we make that a thing? I would like to ding, ding, ding.
So, I am not inherently a Superman fan.
Me
I have no
either.
problem with Superman, but I'm just not super into the mythos.
Right.
However, as someone who is super into writing and like story building, I think I understand the fundamental problem with the Superman movies.
No.
They keep trying to
these two.
Right. They keep
Yeah.
trying to they're trying to reestablish Superman and build him into Superman. But what they did is they started with the anti-Superman so that he could change into him and you could grow with him. But it's an established character. It's like the Batman parent story. Don't do it. Just give us Batman. Just give us Superman.
Right.
We know what's going on.
You don't
It's
need to
okay.
reinvent the wheel.
Right.
Right.
You don't. Like, I understand the need to, like, look, this is a wheel. You've seen this wheel for thousands of years, or, like, however long you're talking about.
Yep.
You need to do something new and different. But if you make it a square, it's not going to fucking move.
We were just talking about this last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
and I don't see. As a writer, I also try to what would make a good Superman story, and I would argue that it would have little Superman in it until the halfway point. Maybe I would make a.
It's a Jaws complex.
No, it would be like a. What are you doing?
Yeah. Nothing. I'm literally writing this.
Whoops. I would do a Justice League movie, but not as part of this DC universe. I wouldn't lead into it. I wouldn't have a Batman origin and a Wonder Woman origin and all this. I would just have here's you're introduced to all these characters as they happen. Some Batman people know. Superman's not he's in the League, but he's not there for a while, and they're fighting this threat, and it gets too big, and the League is failing. And then Superman shows up to sort them out and to fight with them, because I think Superman needs to have weight to the character because of what he represents. He needs to be larger than life, and having this struggle without him will put a spotlight on how important he is.
Yeah. Well, and I would like to pose an interesting argument to the reason that Marvel is so wildly successful in their cinematic universe as to where DC kind of isn't.
Yeah.
From my understanding of the goals of these companies, DC tries to create icons. Right? Heroes you can look up to.
Right.
As to where Marvel tries to create, superhuman superheroes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
And so I think the reason Marvel does so well is because they do the background movies, because that's what those characters are about. They are about their background.
Yeah.
As to where DC characters are about the end point and seeing that image. And so DC should have went the reverse and done their Justice League movie, showed us the characters, then showed us how they became them.
Right. That's
or not even necessarily became. It's okay, here's Justice League. Now we're gonna have the Superman movie, where Superman is just Superman.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have the Wonder Woman movie, where Wonder Woman is just Wonder Woman.
that feels more like DC to me then.
Yeah.
I also think, and we might have mentioned this on our Marvel Civil War episode.
Yeah.
But and we've talked about this a lot, where Marvel is about people trying to be larger than life, whereas DC is about gods trying to be more human, more like people. And I feel like that's not as relatable as people trying to be better than themselves with Marvel. I think that's why, just fundamentally, Marvel movies are going to work more. I'm not saying... I'm not saying from a fan standpoint, I love the DC movies. I love Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. They're terrible, but I love them. Because they're DC, they have Batman in them and everything. So I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to make a good Superman movie.
I don't know.
Unless it's more
that's the thing. I've had ideas, but the problem is I'm not in the business.
Yeah. And if you went and said, "Hey, I have this great idea for a Superman story," they'll be like, "Can he fight a giant robot spider? Can we get one of those?"
Right.
Can Nick Cage be Superman?
Or they'll go but we got this franchise we're working on for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
So
there's no room for independent superhero stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Here's me chiming in that
Ding, ding, ding.
I can't believe
Ding, ding,
that
ding,
nobody
ding, ding.
mentioned Rogue One or there was
everyone
another
answer?
one or Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would like to actually change my answer, because I really can't.
I can't believe you didn't say this one to begin.
I want to know the title for episode 8. I cannot believe that we don't have that yet.
We're getting that the day.
I was going to say, I'm sure
the first episode 8 trailer launches with Rogue One.
So a year before the movie comes out?
Yeah.
That's way too late. We should already have it.
Calm your tits. It's going to be
We
okay.
should have had it in episode 7.
But that's the thing, though.
Exactly. Ray will
The only reason we have the opinion that it should be sooner is because that's how marketing works.
Sure.
These movies don't need to be marketed.
No.
They don't, but...
Do you think that they want you to focus on Rogue One? Because if you already have the title to Episode 6, you're not going to go see Rogue One.
Well,
I mean, that's not true. You're going to go see Rogue One, but...
I don't know, it just...
I think they want you to focus and enjoy the one piece that they're going to give you right now. And save your candy for later. It's going to get there.
Well, but
You're a little fat kid and like to have all your cake at once,
yes, I know. I want episode 8 instead of Rogue One. I would rather have episode 8.
but that's just not how they're going to roll.
I know. I'm not... and I guess I don't know how to explain this. It just feels weird that we don't have it yet. And nobody else feels that way?
Well,
No.
especially for a major franchise, because when your franchise is as big as Star Wars or Marvel Cinematic Universe has gotten, half of the fun is speculation.
Right. Well,
give us that title so we can start like making fan theories and be like, oh, what if this? What if that?
Like, you can't do that within a year?
But we're already doing that, so why give us another piece when we're already satisfied?
Right. Yeah.
But it's like, we knew there was going to be a new Star Wars movie, right? Like, when Episode 7 was announced, like, oh, a new Star Wars movie. But when we got Force Awakens, we were like, what does this mean? Why Force Awakens and everything?
Something else I think that they're trying to do, that I actually do really respect for them doing with this franchise. It seems they're really trying to stick to this pre-internet age, contain the spoilers, contain the information.
I love
Enjoy these movies as you would.
Right.
Enjoy them for the experience of being surprised and not having speculated, and, oh, that's different than what I thought, but this is still cool.
Yep.
Enjoy the movie for what it is. I think this plays a major part into that. Mm-hmm. You didn't know what a movie was going to be, or even if a movie was coming out, until the damn trailer came out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but I feel like...
Stop being so American and just wait.
I feel like the title of the movie is not too much to ask for. I'm not saying, like, I want to know if Luke dies in it. I just want to know if Luke dies in it before the movie comes out. That's all I want. I'm just saying I want to know the name of the thing I'm
George
excited
and see
for.
If he'll tell you.
George has nothing to do with it anymore.
Thank God.
Thank God.
I don't know what you're talking about. Those last movies you made were
you're saying it's not all a part of his original vision?
All part of my original vision.
You do that so well. I enjoy that more than I should.
Yeah.
You make George Lucas palatable to me.
There you go.
Thank you.
Everything George Lucas says, I will just filter through this voice for you. So we'll be able to...
I love it. It's almost like Kermit the Frog, but it's not.
Yeah. It's nice.
So there.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars, Winds of Winter.
Yeah.
Just give us good stuff. That's all I want is good stuff. Do you have a question for us?
Yeah, and mine kind of is a good segue between that one. It's because, absolutely Connor's the Superman person. Mm-hmm. You're definitely the Batman person.
Love Batman.
I really want to know what yours is. And I kind of want to know what mine is, too.
If you can have a type of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you identify with...
Yeah.
Can you let me know?
I identify...
I'm sorry.
Man, you are having a stroke right now.
It's going to be okay.
I identify with Deadpool more than any other superhero.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's just... So, the theme of the Deadpool movie, at least, was the idea of fuck it.
Yep.
I live on the crossroad of fuck it. And I just really appreciate, that, like, I am someone who tries to, like, be funny. Mm-hmm. You guys know.
I just realized our dynamic. I am so Colossus to your Deadpool.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my god.
Does this make me Negasonic Teenage Warhead?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep. But, I am someone who really values the ability to not take yourself too seriously, to not take your situation, to understand that life is a game and you're just playing to win the game.
A lot of people don't get that. It's important.
Yeah. Like, I don't look at things like, oh man, I need to do this and this and this because it's life, and life is something that's serious. Like, life's a game. I will win, but it's a game.
Yeah. Nice. Deadpool.
Mine is, we talked about this yesterday. Mine is completely Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And it almost goes along with yours, because you never see Spider-Man doing what Batman does or what Superman does or the Avengers or anything like that. Trying to just completely, protect the whole entire world or the city or whatever's happening.
I just had a revelation. I want to let you finish that.
Spider-Man does what he can right then. And also is just a plethora of emotions that I really like too.
Right.
So mine will always be Spider-Man.
We were watching The Amazing Spider-Man 2 the other day, and you were just like, man, I can't believe I ever think that any other superhero is my favorite.
I try to kid myself, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm totally Wonder Woman.
Like,
not at all.
It's Spider-Man.
It's never going to be Wonder Woman.
That's awesome, yeah. So I was just thinking, based on what we said about how Marvel is like people trying to be better, whereas, I realized that I fully identify with that idea, because I was just thinking Spider-Man is the person I identify with most. Like, he's probably, of all the superheroes, he's the one that I'm like, that probably is how I feel most of the time. Whereas Batman is who I aspire to be like. It's what I think it's like.
Oh, right, and that is the core difference of the readership.
Right. So, it's like, I want to be like Batman, so I...
Who do you aspire to be then?
It could be Deadpool.
If you say that Deadpool is just yourself. Who do you aspire to be?
Beast.
Interesting.
That's a good one. That's
awesome.
a good one.
I aspire to have my shit together to the point where if I were a big blue hairy monster, people would still respect me.
Right. And you'd wear a suit and pull it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then rip it off, because shit got real.
You could pull it off and pull it off, so it's nice. That's a good one, yeah. Spider-Man.
So that was mine. Sorry, you guys didn't get to answer it.
Do you have one that you aspire to be? Yeah. You don't have to.
I mean, I guess it would be Wonder Woman because it's it's that iconic and she's very well put together and classy and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah.
So, last question.
Okay.
Hit us.
Great. What is happening?
Please stand by music.
You gonna pee before we get deep?
No. And we're back!
They never knew we left, because you edited.
Whoops. Well, we're back. Oh no. They're on to us. Waka waka. Do you have a question for the group?
Yes. So, there's a bit of a preposition to this question. So right now...
Preposition?
Or a proposition.
Whatever.
Or a
Preface?
prostitution.
Both. The Quaffman and I are in a play right now called Big Love.
Oh, God.
Now, my opinion of the play as like an artist, what I see in it when I read it, is it's meant to create a gender divide so that you can find the similarities.
Yeah.
Right? Like separating men and women so you can actually see the highlight of how they're the same. So really, it's a lot of thinking about what does it mean to be a man. So, my question is, what does it mean to be, in your opinion, a man or a woman? And we will stick it to your own gender because it is just ridiculous to assume that we would know the other gender's like their life struggle.
Sure.
No amount of empathy can make up for actual struggle.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to start us off?
So if I can self-indulge.
Oh boy.
This
Is that what
morning...
you've been doing this whole time?
I was gonna say, this entire episode
this
is...
entire podcast is just us jacking off together.
Peeves and Q's : Indulgence. Yes.
Way to say jacking off.
But I wrote
We're
a
jilling
poem.
off.
Oh, gross.
Whatever.
I mean, not gross. Equally as respectable. Oh no, I should shut up. Go on.
But as I've mentioned on this podcast before, aside from being an actor, I also write poetry and stuff. So I wrote a poem about like what I think it means to be a man.
Wow. This is an historic day.
Yes. Men, real men, are selfless. They live so helplessly bound to others that they will fight for them, bleed for them, die for them. No, fuck that. They would live for them. When they lie broken, bleeding, dying, they find the strength to get up because they are needed. Men insist on success because others need them to succeed. Men insist on winning because others need them to win. And a man fights because he has someone to fight for. That is what a man is. All others are boys.
Nice.
Nice.
Can I just say that? Yeah, like that.
Like,
There, that's me. That's my answer. That.
Wholeheartedly agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So is it my turn?
Yes.
Is this what our opinion is, or what we think
what
the
your
world
personal
thinks?
opinion
Yeah.
is.
Ooh, then I don't know if I have an answer to this question, because I spend a lot of my time trying to deconstruct this idea that men need to act or behave a certain way. Personally, I think that people should just be allowed to live their lives and do what they want. One thing I've noticed is that men have a lot more independency in a relationship than women do.
Stereotypically.
I don't know if this is like stereotyping or anything.
Yeah.
But I noticed that like men don't tend to, or at least publicly, need.
So then let me rephrase for you specifically.
Okay.
When do you feel the most like a man? When do you feel like you are?
That's a good
This is
question.
a good question.
Because that's how I took it. It's not just, okay, here's what I think everyone should feel. It's like,
Right,
to
because
me,
that's-
this is what I think I would like to be
Okay.
as my version of myself as a man.
Yeah.
That's
I like this
that's an
question.
easier question.
Yeah,
to swallow.
Because, I mean, what you're doing is you're processing the filter of, like, you don't think we should
Right.
identify, but, like,
Yeah,
we do
yeah.
anyways.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and again, like, I don't know if this is like something that's like, oh, all people feel this way, but I think, but
sure.
I guess when I feel the most like a man is when I'm able to accomplish something that was a problem. Especially the deeper the problem is, like the more it worries me that this is a problem, without it being too much, and succeeding at it like higher than if there's just like if I'm at work and there's a problem and I like am struggling for a while and then I fix it, that's cool. But I'm talking about when there's like an actual problem in my life and I like take care of it.
So succeeding with competence and clarity.
Yeah.
Rising above.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Then I just feel super proud of myself and super like this is what a man and women too,
Right.
but that's just what my emotion there
But for
is. I
you,
feel
as a
manly.
male,
Just being able to succeed, it's like I did it. I'm a success as a person, as a man. I feel like a man now. I feel like an adult anyway. So
great.
That's mine.
And well, I don't think I'm going to answer it as when do I feel most like a woman? I feel like a woman every goddamn second of my life because women emotions are just who they are.
Yeah.
In a positive way. That's how I see it.
Sometimes. It's for most people, I would say.
Well, yeah, definitely for me.
Yeah, when you're done, it's I want to add something to this. And please.
I guess what I see women as and what I like most about what the female race does is how strong they truly are.
Yeah.
At everything. I would I truly would love to see a man like have a human ripped out of them. I would love to see what it's like for them because I just don't think it would be the same as it is for a woman.
Yeah.
Like my cousin just had a baby and the only thing that she could say was just like it didn't hurt at all. Like it didn't hurt pushing and my bones were breaking and my skin was splitting, but that didn't hurt. It was just exhausting to get this person into my life.
Yeah.
So and I'm just like, fuck yeah, because women can do anything. Like,
Right.
women can lift cars off of children. Like,
Yeah. I've noticed, I don't understand why there's this idea that men are tougher than women are, because that doesn't make any
I've
sense.
never understood that.
Me either.
If Jody pinches me, I like get a tear in my eye. I'm like, why did you like hard? Whereas if I pinch you,
I don't though. I don't pinch Alex.
No, I'm just saying. Like, I cannot take pain the way you can, and it is surprising that, like, genuinely, not like this is a joke because it's like, oh, everybody thinks this, but it's not. It's like I genuinely don't understand where that idea comes from.
Because historically, men are the warriors.
Well, right, but why?
Because physiologically,
Because women have the
biologically,
children.
Right, but when they're not having the children,
right? Because traditionally, because of genetics and biology, traditionally,
Because you have more muscle mass.
more muscle mass.
well, men are stronger,
Right, but that's it.
And that's-
I think
that's-
because of
people
that comes
attribute-
prejudice. Because of that becomes
Exactly. People
because
think you're strong,
oppression,
which
because
means
of
that you don't feel pain.
But I would argue that, like, as far as like fighting in a war, and I mean like classical wars with like swords and shields
Sure.
and everything, a woman would be more suited for that just because like they could take
The
more
smaller
hits
frame,
than
yeah.
and the smaller frame, so they're like less likely to get hit. So I understand like maybe it would be uncomfortable for like 9 months out of the year for them to not be able to, but how often would
Well,
they
but
be
it's not
having
just
children?
that. Think of, like, early civilization.
Yeah.
The most important thing was being able to reproduce. Women were a high value because they were the ones that had children.
Right.
You don't send your highly valuable things into the fight because they could get killed.
And I guess that makes sense because like one man could
Populate a whole.
populate like many women, whereas
Right.
if there's only one woman, then that's like one kid every 9 months at the best, and even then you start to get really dangerous
Right.
with the frequency. But it still just seems a little. It's uncomfortable that this idea persists. That's for me anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
'Cause,
what I find so proud of women, how strong we truly are, and that. Yeah, everyone might not see it, and when you have kids, your kids probably hate you all the time. But one day they do turn around, and they're just like, "Damn, mom."
Yeah, you did a lot.
Yeah, you did a lot.
And dad's usually just like,
that goes to psychology too. Dad's the friend,
Right.
But mom, like, Mom is love.
That's the one you want to hang out with, but mom is the one that you appreciate.
Yeah,
more
mom
when
will
you
feed
grow
you.
up. Yeah.
Dad will forget to feed you.
Yeah, and be like, let's eat cake because it's fun.
So yeah,
you wanted. Oh, was that?
Yeah, that was
really deep. I like that.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm struggling to find a way to articulate it too. Because so forgive me if this comes out
Sure.
I don't know.
We'll work it.
But this idea that this thought came from when you said you feel like a woman every second of every goddamn day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my first immediate thought was yes. Duh. Like absolutely. Yeah. But then the thought why do other men feel they have to say to other men, you're not a man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it that males have to deconstruct one another in such a way, whereas and again, I have no experience in this, it seems that same kind of deconstruction doesn't seem to occur.
It doesn't. You never hear a woman say, you're not a woman. You never hear any... I don't think I've ever seen heard another woman put down the same. Yes, come please. Yes.
More than
I have never seen a woman go, "You're not a woman." Blah blah blah. Like a man will say, "You're not a man because blah blah."
In my
blah.
experience, "You're not a woman" is not used, or it's not used as like men would use "You're not a man."
Right.
But we say things like,
"Oh, we're just as bad."
Wow,
yeah.
You're not very pretty,
or you're a huge slut. Yeah, like we tear each other apart in different ways.
Like, which is, in my opinion, the equivalent to "You're not a man." In
yes,
completely.
I love how you just wear anything. Yeah. That's my favorite.
I guess
Jesus.
The thing that I'm trying to kind of wrap my head around isn't necessarily, oh, why do men do this and why women? It's not that. It's where, sociologically speaking, did that come from?
I think I know.
Particularly with men. Not that I'm not interested in the female experience. And
why do people
but why? Yeah. Why is that such a thing? It's you don't represent what my idea of this is, which is kind of universally accepted to some extent. If we talk about manhood in a completely not in a way that we did
but
here,
how
where it was
the world just has this idea.
Talk about manliness, boom, 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 boom.
Right.
Yeah, we can all list off what that is.
We can do this exact same thing for feminism.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. I just want to know why that is so effective in deconstructing somebody. Why that is so effective in lowering someone's opinion of themselves.
I think... Oh, sorry, no, go on.
Okay. I was just thinking, I think it's because they want to feel better about themselves.
Sure.
And another part of that is it is the societal thing. I don't know that an individual man, if you lock them in a room and raise them alone in isolation, would come out into the real world, and if they were able to speak and communicate properly, if people would be able to say, you're less of a man than I am, if they would take that the same way. I feel like they'd just be like,
what does that mean?
If they understood it.
Right, exactly.
Women just put labels to it,
you're
a slut,
you're
ugly, you're
But it's because of the societal idea of you need to be a man, you need to be manly, you need to behave in this way, because if you don't, then you're less of a human. Mm-hmm. You're just not good at doing your job, which is being a man.
I think that's just a human trait.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than...
Yeah.
But I think the question about why do men put each other down and why does that happen is because of this idea
the alpha.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
It's
I think that it is innately because... Alright, so... To understand my opinion, you have to understand my opinion on people, which is that we are all basic animals, and though we have a society and we live within it, we are never going to be more than animals.
People do not get that.
Us as animals measure ourselves against our other animals, our competition, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so to be told that you are lesser than that competition is the affirmation that you are not good enough, you are not strong enough, you are not tough enough, you need to get your shit together. It's being told that everything you are is not worth this, you're not worth the time. You're second rate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what that's where it hits, is you are insignificant.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And no one wants to be that because we are a herd animal. We want to be a member of the pack.
We want to be a productive member of society, and when people say you're not through the lens of you're not less of a man, or it's like, oh, you're not pretty enough or whatever, then it's just being like, you're not good enough to be in this pack that we have.
Which is dumb.
It's super dumb.
So dumb.
It's so dumb.
Right. And so, like, and then even from then is, then why aren't our reaction to that, particularly in a 21st century society, why aren't our reactions to that, so what?
Well, I think to some people, yes, it is.
Right. I think for some, and I think there is that little biological, like, oh, well, that is the alpha telling the beta.
Yeah.
Like, there is a little bit of that, but
Know
then
your place.
why not even in a society of competition, and even in a 21st century society, why is it then not... why isn't it? I step up.
Going
stepping
back,
up.
Going back to what we
Right.
were saying about like representation in media.
Right, sure.
I think if you had scenes like that in movies, then more people would do it because right now, if somebody says you're less of a man, the only way they know how to take that is to be like, oh, you must be right. I'm not as worthy as everyone else. Whereas if they were to see like a Harrison Ford scene where somebody tells Harrison Ford, you're not as much a man, and he said, that's fine. I'm just me. I'm doing my own thing. I don't care if I'm a man in your eyes or whatever. I'm just myself. Then people would be more inclined
Harrison, get it together.
Yeah, come on. You're
The
supposed to be a role
world
model.
needs you.
Stop smoking so much weed, man.
Did you...
Seriously, does
you want to say something?
I was going to say that, like, the only people I've really heard judge other men on their manliness are the people who tend to be very, very sexist towards women in general.
Yeah, I think that's
like,
part of
they
it,
seem
too.
to have, like, this notion that, like, each gender just has their own place that they
Right.
belong in. So if, like, a man doesn't drive all the time, or if a man doesn't, like...
Yeah?
This is the
For
first example I thought of. I'm sorry.
Just as a random example.
Yeah.
That's honestly the first thing I thought of. I'm sorry.
Or if a man like doesn't
Well, I'm just
have
trying
a
to think
job
of,
that
like-
makes a lot of money
Right.
for his wife.
Right, I'm
or-
just trying to think of, like, some, like, providing,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
positions,
Yeah, yeah.
then
Yeah.
they're considered like less of a man to these people. But not just because they're less manly, but because they're also using their notions on what women are supposed to do to back that up.
That
'Cause,
makes
like
that makes a lot of sense because if one man says to another man, "You're not as much a man as me," that implies that being manly is the ultimate aspiration,
Yeah.
which women allegedly, according
This
to this mindset,
stereotypical idea of man.
can't even do because they're not men,
And-
so they're not even on your level, and you're beneath me.
if you were to take the phrase like "you're not a man" and like reword it in any other way, it's like saying "you're a woman" or like "you're
Right.
girly," and it's like.
It's like you throw like a girl. It's like, is that supposed to be an insult?
Which is, I mean, those are the only people I've ever heard insult.
My girlfriend throws a mean baseball. I throw way better than you. Not saying that you're not bad at that, but
Right. So
But yeah.
if my family's listening, stop here. It's like when guys say, "Why are you being such a pussy?" It's like,
fucking hate that. Fucking hate that.
I know it's
I
one
hate
of
that word just in general, but
At the
like
same
also
time,
that.
I called people a dick a lot.
Yeah, well-
Anyway,
Well, but
to
here's the
apply.
thing.
makes sense.
Dicks are always abrasive, so that fits. But to call someone a pussy, like, because
Implies
they're
they're
weak,
weak.
a pussy can take a pounding.
I was
And-
literally
It
about
doesn't
to,
make sense.
And
Betty White.
Yeah, I was literally about
Yeah,
to say
and-
Betty White.
push a human through it. So yeah,
Right. It's like,
Nice.
it's like
Love to see your balls do that.
yeah, balls
Love
are
to-
super sensitive. Like the male
So grow a
testicles.
pair.
Yeah, it's like grow a pair. It's like what?
Why? That's just a weakness.
You don't have a,
Yeah.
you need to grow some stones, man. It's like this is the opposite advice that you should be giving. I understand what you're saying, but
So ass
etymologically
backwards.
speaking,
Yeah.
does not make any sense.
And honestly, like, yeah, like, grow a pair, have some balls is just like saying, be superior, be a man.
Yeah, and it's like, so what about this entire 51% of the population is just like SOL now? Because, okay, cool.
I will grow those.
Yeah,
And then you'll be sorry.
and then you'll be sorry. So, wow, we covered a lot of
Everything.
ground today. Yeah, we had a range. We talked about Game of Thrones. We talked about the differences between men and women and if they're valid in any way. Sort of.
They
I don't know.
are. They
I
are.
don't know. I'm just making.
We talked about Marvel versus DC.
Yeah, really, the biggest
He
takeaway.
talked about my mom.
I was gonna say we talked about parents and
Hooray.
Talking about the Spider-Man. Got a
Yes.
lot. All right,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Deadpool made a meta appearance, as he does.
as he always
That's
does.
always, yeah. He talked about himself. This has been an episode of Peeves and Q's, And if you would like to hear more episodes of Peeves and Cues, you can subscribe to the channel. You can grow a pair and subscribe. It's about time. If you would like to ask us questions that we will read on the air, you can send them to our email address at peevesandcuespodcast@gmail.com.
Have we received any emails?
Absolutely not. No, zero.
Get on it, guys.
Yeah,
We're lonely.
No. Get on it, one person.
Yeah, that one guy.
Yeah,
tell
come on,
other
seriously.
people to listen.
Taylor's mom, come on.
Do this for me.
If you're going to unsubscribe, at least tell other people to subscribe first. You can also send us questions on Twitter at Peeves and Cues. What's up?
You know, it'd be great.
What would be great?
For the holidays, you can totally troll your family by telling them to listen to Peeves and Cues.
Yeah, if you're angry at them for
Shamelessly
voting
plug.
for certain candidates, then you can be
If
like...
someone gets you a gift card, tell them to listen to Peeves and Cues.
Actually,
I love gift
I was
cards.
going
What
to
are
say,
you talking
nowadays
about?
I like
Those are the
gift cards,
best.
especially if they're asking. But
feel
I
like
totally
Trump
understand what you're
supporters
saying.
won't like this fact.
And we just lost our one viewer. Our one
It's
listener.
Donald Trump
Yeah,
himself.
I'm not sorry.
Probably.
Yeah.
Mr. Trump,
He's going to angrily tweet
if you
about
ever
it later.
listen, bro, get your shit together.
Grow a pair.